Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have some more inspiration for the current Hello Bluebird challenge, which is the Hello Bluebird Color Challenge 2. I'm going to make a really simple card, therefore I'm using the Meadow Bunnies, which is also an adorable stamp set out for a while, that again hasn't gotten all of the attention. I sort of lost track of this gorgeous stamp set while purchasing all the new stuff from this brand from other brands. So I'm glad with these challenges I actually try to look through my stamps and see which one I haven't used enough or for a while, and that's how I came to these Meadow Bunnies. Now, as I said previously, with the first inspiration that I got, an entry, this color challenge for me is a really fun one. There are some of these basic colors. It's blue, it's green, it's yellow and red. These work great together. I still feel a bit inside of my comfort zone, although I need to really watch out that I have incorporated all. But that's the fun about the color challenge. So I am mostly using exactly the same markers as I did for my previous card. And if you look back onto my blog posts, you will definitely notice that my blue here is the same, the green is the same. I needed a few markers less when it came to reds, just because of the image that I chose. But it was a really fun card to make. So I used this square Extraordinaire stencil from My Favorite Things as a guide to get my background done. You can definitely also ink blend this background, or if you want to, you can ink blend the sky and then add the grass yourself. Or if you have a grassy border, you can add a grassy border on top of your ink blended piece. There are many ways to avoid markers if you're feeling uncomfortable doing this. But what I did really was basic and simple, and I'm sure that anyone can do this as well. For the images, I stamped out this adorable bunny. It's going to look at the bird on the plant, and then I have some flowers. In the end, I only used 2 of them, but I had 3 in mind just because, 3, it works. So yeah. And as you can see here, there is such a tiny area for red markers that 2 was really enough. Just doing a second layer, and then I'm working on all the greenery and the bunny. Now the bunny, for me, whenever I have a really cute image, I tend to go with light colors. Something that I need to do more is doing spots, because animals aren't always one tone. But that I didn't do today. I just went for a really soft brown combination that I love using, that I use all the time, and I added 1 marker on top to have it a bit darker but still on the light side of the browns. So for the bunny I'm using E37, E33, E53 and E51. These last 3 might seem a bit, well, they might seem familiar, because those 3 I'm using all the time. It just works, and that's why I love it. And you can just add a darker one on top. You can also add another one, not using the E37, and you have a completely different brown combination, but those light colors work together, so you can just match it with a darker one that you have. So for the shadowing, I tried to have the shadowing each time where the critter was facing towards the light source. So here the bunny is facing towards the right, so there we have the lighter colors, and the bird is facing towards the left, so we have the lighter colors on the left for the bird. And then the flowers, I had no clue where to place them, so I just added it on the left. Of course, I could have kept that in mind if I had a clue where they were going to end up, but I hadn't. So I'm just making sure, adding a second layer, that is something that helps me with this paper to get my transition that I like. And if I need more, I can add more. This paper is Transotype Perfect Coloring Paper. It's a really good one for Copic coloring or for alcohol markers in general. So I just love using that. I can only recommend it. So once everything is colored in, I took the matching dies and I cut everything out. So for the flower, I had to run that through 3 times. And then I decided that the bird wasn't warm enough. The yellow wasn't warm enough. So I just added the yellow 38 and worked my way through the other markers again to get my transitions and just have it a bit warmer, yes. It was a bit too yellow. So having all the images ready now, we can start trying to place these images on top of our panel. Now, as always, something that can help if you don't know how to place things is to go in a triangle. It's something that works. It's also like the amount 3 that works as well. And I will somehow show you how I ended up having 3 items on my card, although I have 4 images in the end. And as well as the triangle, it will sort of be clear in the end. So that one flower, I just couldn't find placement for it to work next to exactly the same flower. It was a bit too much in my opinion. So I just kept that flower in the back of my stamp set, and I can use it if I need to on another card. It's already prepped, there is no reason to throw it away. And so here, the triangle as well, I tend to go with an irregular triangle. So you can see it here, the bunny is sort of making sure that we have a triangle with height. And then the 3 items that work for design, because I placed that one flower just behind the bird, it sort of looks like that is one piece. And we have also 3 elements like that, or 3 groupings of elements. Maybe that's a better choice of words. Now I used some present seal to keep everything in place, and I marked those corners on the bottom for later on. This way I can make sure that those marks align with my panel, and that way I am sure that my images are exactly where I had them in mind. So to adhere them, I am going to use some liquid glue. I am going to use some thin foam squares. I'm covering everything as much as possible just to prevail that through mail it's going to get ruined because of the amount that is mailed that day. I tend to add it completely. I'm filling it completely like a crazy person. I know you don't need to, but I just prefer. So I'm removing the backings, and then we are going to take that panel, take our time to have those corners align, and then I'm just letting it fall down, pressing on the images, and I have them exactly where I placed them before. Now I have all my images on there. I am going to add this panel on top of a card base. And then there are several ways to finish this card. You can leave it like this. I definitely think that this works. Yeah, it works. You can add glossy accents, you can add stickles if you want to, or you can search for embellishments that work. I first thought of these crystal clear hearts, droplets, and I liked it. It can work as well. But then I remembered that I also had these red heart droplets, the poppy red. Well, droplets, poppy hearts, from Little Things from Lucy's Card. So I tried that out, and actually that works great as well. So then I thought, since this is a color challenge and red is one of the colors and it works great with my flowers, why don't I use red? And then there was still the option to combine the clear with the reds, but I didn't do that. And then here I decided to add one in the middle of the sentiment. You could stop there. It's another option that you have. But I went a bit further, and I'm really surprised by myself later on that I added more, because that one works great. But I added 5 in the end. But it was a bit of a fiddle, and I left it here because throughout all of the fiddling you definitely can see that there are multiple options, and everyone will have his or her own preference So therefore I wanted to show you a bit that there is more than just what is shown sometimes from someone that is trying to inspire you, of course. So once I was happy with placement, which took a while, I used some liquid glue and added these hearts on top of my card. Therefore, I am using an embellishment wand. Mine is from Studio Katja. I have it for a while now, and truly for placing embellishments, well, it's more of a necessity for me now to have it on hand. If I cannot find it, I will probably not add anything, because this makes life so much easier. So if you don't have it yet and you're wondering whether you need it or not, for me it was a life changer, and placing embellishments is so much more fun now. So yeah, I'm just putting it out there. And then my card is done. So this is my clean and simple entry for the current Hello Bluebird challenge. Don't forget, it's until the 15th, I think, that you can enter, so it's nearing that date. But don't worry, there is plenty of time for you to create still, and maybe you have an excuse this way to have some fun throughout the week. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you like the end result. I want to wish you an incredible day, and I'll be back soon. Bye!